In this video, I'm going to put out a beginner martial art test questionnaire. The questions one must be able to answer before they're even worthy of being trained, and they must answer them in a sufficient manner. First, I'm going to give you the questions. Okay. Then we're going to answer them. I'm going to overkill it, and I'm going to leave the rest of the answers to the key reasons on the Top Martial Arts playlist and my other videos, the rest of the elaboration. Okay. So, the beginner martial art test. What are the characteristics of the governing class, and what do you expect them to lie to you about? First question. And the answers are best made in, at least a paragraph, hopefully at least one page per question. And that's how important it is for them to truly understand these things before they start. Right? The purpose of martial arts is to martial things. Okay. Number two. At what point is man cut off from the moral high ground argument? Number three, to primitive man, what did nature show them was the logical way to connect to God? Number four, why must one despise the people that cannot be martial artists because they fixate on grammar and language? This is important. Number five, now this one, bear with me, okay? You'll see why this makes sense to ask this question. I'm not racist, I'm part white. Number five, why can't white-skinned people and women ever be top martial artists material? And why is it not racist to point that out, or sexist? Number six, why should attractive women that don't value focused moral intensity, that sleep with the enemies of God's royal family that ends with me, be executed? Number seven, why is it important to understand people and the history that made them far more than the yuppie middle and upper class? Number eight, why is the hero the master, he with the moral high ground, and non-action as a philosophy not good enough? Okay. So first, before we explore this, let us knock out some kind of basic ideas. The five most important deities to understand why this questionnaire must be made, to understand how the governing class tries to trick you, are Apollo, Mercury, Hell, Hades, and Mars. After that, we get Vulcan, Jupiter, Circe, Venus, Poseidon, Helios, and so on and so forth, and on and on and on. And Pan, and so on and so forth. Pan basically refers to all the governing class people who have different rape cult characteristics, who they got priests and cults to kind of make statues of them and express their characteristics and pretend that they're gods. Because yes, they were cowards, they were bitches, they were weaklings, they were sages, they were mages, they were, quote unquote, right? They were magic cards, psychology, chemistry bitches, and so on and so forth. All right. So when you look at this, most people are a variation of the brute or the jackal nerd, right? This kind of jackal is kind of a fox-like looking thing. Okay. So number one, Apollo, poetry, science, medicine, oracles, archery, okay, plagues, okay, and I believe intelligence and light. Okay. Obviously, this guy would authorize the colonial rape campaigns, and settlers set the trap, right? Settler, right? They go there, they colonize, they trade with the people, they get a good feeling, they attack them. Okay, it's the general kind of process. Okay, it's a rape process. Mercury, right? Boundaries between the upper and the lower world, merchandise. Okay, he had a magic wand, Miark, the mark. Okay. And I'll put it at the end, okay? This one's key, right? Mercury, right? Chemistry, kind of confusion, okay? Hell, okay? The deity of hell, okay? Hades, the passive, the rich, the riches, diamonds, gold, bitches, passive, bitches, non-action, okay? This has everything to do with why non-action is not good enough. This is actually one of the devil's main tactics. One of the main characteristics of Hades was he was passive. He'd sit there like, oh, it's no big deal, and he's plotting all the time. He's kidnapping women, he's doing all kinds of horrible things, and he's acting like a passive monk or something. Okay, Mars, his symbol is the wolf, the ram. He's a god of war. He raped Rhea. The ram, Mars, you get the word ram out of Mars with the word scrambled. Okay, and the woodpecker and the wolf. Okay, has everything to do with rape cults. He rapes Rhea. These are rape deities. Even Hell herself is like a gender-neutral sort of lesbian rape deity. Okay. So Mars, again, wolf backwards is flow. Okay, the form of martial arts was based on these weirdo governing class pussies in the various forms of Mars. Okay, basically some lumberjack liberal looking pussy. Okay, so you have to important. These are some of the characteristics of the governing class. What are the characteristics of the governing class, and what do you expect them to lie to you about? Well, they're whites, Jews, and Asians, corporate guys, right? They're the rich. Okay, they have a lot in common with the devil. Satan is the god of this world. You know, you need answers that have to do with this. They don't have to bring up religion. They have to bring up morality. They're immoral. They're rich. They're indifferent. They like to give money to charity and pretend like that makes them a hero and a great person because they're a quote-unquote philanthropist. They're liars. They control the media. Okay, they put a special emphasis on stigmatizing black people because of black people's sexual powers and royal prowess when these guys, warrior prowess when these guys are nerds and scientists and geeks and sexually immoral scum who get a bunch of healthy frat girls and so on and so forth to move into their, sorority girls to move into the Palo Alto and San Francisco and the Hamptons and Malibu and Almond Valley. They're bitches. They're Saratoga, Los Gatos, ninny scum bitches that God despises. If they don't understand that the righteous despise the governing class, don't even bother, don't even read the rest of what they have to say, just throw it away, in terms of considering them. You might do it out of curiosity, but in terms of in understanding your enemy's bitches, that they've made bitches. But, if they don't understand that you're not to look up to corporate people, you're not to look up to celebrities, you're not to look up to the governing class, they're not martial art material, you may as well be training a devil to rape people and be like, look at me like a figure skater pussy or something. There's no excuse for that kind of stupidity. They are going to lie to you about the nature of God. They're going to lie to you about the spiritual order. They're going to lie to you about the moral order, the social order. They're going to lie to you about what's right and wrong, about whether you should conform to cultures. I mean, this is kind of common sense. They need to include these things in their answer, okay, and things that show that they understand these things at least. Okay. Number 2, at what point is man cut off from the moral high ground argument? Okay, when the top martial artist royal family dies. Okay, it is not right to keep this guy from having enough kids to continue his line or to name somebody, right? To bring somebody in his family by saying, you are the heir. Nobody is worthy to replace me. I've gone over that time and time again. And even if they tricked you into making it seem like I actually said the opposite, okay, you should be able to tell by the person, that that's not the case. Okay? All right. Number 3. Again, it goes back to Set testifying himself. It's very obvious, very straightforward. There's no moral high ground after you have all sat there and let the only moral person die, God's representative die. There's only a bunch of bitches who are like, look, I'm less of a bitch than him, I swear, but you're all bitches. Who cares if dog shit is less disgusting than bird shit? I'm not going to eat it. Okay, not willingly, not knowingly. Fucking stupid. Think about it. This is their argument. Oh, I'm the color of bird shit, and you're the color of dog shit. It's fucking stupid. Get them out of here. Okay. Number 3, to primitive man, what did nature show them was the logical way to connect to God? And they have to understand. Okay, you can tell them at the beginning of the test, there's a royal martial art family. Okay, it's up to you to understand what that is and to understand that it's not the King of England. You can give them that. Like, I'll give you this. It's not those weirdos in England and France and so on. They're not the royal martial art family. Okay, I'll give you that one. Okay. Anyway. Number 3, to primitive man, what did nature show them was the logical way to connect to God? The sun. If they can't understand that, don't waste your time. They're stupid. They're looking at the sun, the darkness, right? Fear, right? They got to think about this for nothing. If they don't get that right away, at least they can't think, well, what are you working with? An idiot. Okay? The sun revealed the world to them. The sun was the most powerful, it's the thing, it's the sun in the room, so to speak. It's the sun in the sky, so to speak. It's the brightest star. You're looking up, right? To primitive man, what did God show them was the logical way to connect to God? To understand the sun and the symbol, okay? To look to the sun for answers. Okay. Number 4, why must one despise the people that cannot be martial artists because they fixate on grammar and language? Okay, they don't have to understand magic spells and wordplay, but they do need to understand white privilege and acting like bitches. What did you say, amigo? Huh? I don't understand you. Right? You must hate those motherfuckers. They're pussies. Okay? Some fucking homosexual, some pedophile, not homosexual, who per se, English teacher or something. Stay after class, acting like a bitch. They're just bitches. Bitches fixate on grammar and don't try to get to what you're actually saying. And they do so unreasonably. Okay? They couldn't possibly be martial arts because they don't have a basic degree of human decency. All right. Number 5. Why can't white-skinned people and women ever be taught martial arts material? And why is it not racist or sexist to point that out? Well, white-skinned people are the colonialists. Apollo, the Moon Temple. They don't need to know that. They need to know colonial rape. They need to know the lack of martial arts in European history. They need to know Europeans' body types, right? Some of them are skinny, some of them are short, some are skinny and tall, some are thick, right? This is Europeans' natural body type. If they change form after colonialism, it's because they've unfairly extracted the attractive women. That is not martial art material. That's not building toward being the top martial arts. That's not an honorable reproductive cycle. They have ill-gotten gains that they did not repent for. Only if the people that they have done dirty, which is the royal family perhaps only, but certainly first and foremost, only if they've repented to the royal family, can they then have the opportunity, if this guy decides, to give him a chance. Okay? Only then. Okay? They can't just come out and say, out of the way, right? Which is what they're doing. What they're doing hopelessly. They must understand that white-skinned people are hopelessly saying, out of the way, look at me, I'm Van Damme. Look at me, I'm fucking Scott Atkins, and so on and so forth. They have to understand that. If they don't understand that Hollywood guys aren't taught martial arts, don't waste your time. You may as well waste your time, doing somebody in a coma, right? Look, the lesson today is don't waste your time. If they don't understand this, they don't have basic mental and moral clarity, it's a waste of time. If they're going to let they can't even transcend societies. Don't say that about white people in a thong. Get them the fuck out of there. Okay? And if they say it's actually black people, the most done wrong people, hit them with a fucking brick. Okay? Anyway, so why is it not racist to point that out? Because when you're the racist bully, like, you fucking, and you're slapping people around all day, you're whipping them and shit, you fucking black person, blah, 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 N-word, no gear, you're an Apollo thong talking about you have no gear in their face all day. Okay? The expected outcome is they're going to call you names back. Okay? You fucking idiots. That's why it's called reverse racism. It's really telling your oppressor about himself when he's treating you unfairly because he's a devil. The fuck do you think it is? Devils cannot be top martial artists. They can only be devil weirdos like, I've used science and coercion. Look at me. I've leveraged my gym technology. It's fucking stupid. That's why. That's why. And if these motherfuckers are not above saying, well, they're going to see me as rich, let me fund some white person using my Freemasonic lodge in the ghetto to say, hey, he was poor like you, and he made me look good. These are some make me look good type of bitches. And because they've gone so far with the rape, so far with the make me look good kind of bitch, they cannot fulfill the burden of proof. Anyway, number 6. Why should attractive women that don't value focused moral intensity, that sleep with the enemies of God's royal family, that ends with me, be executed? If they don't understand that, they are idiots. Something along the lines of, well, the attractive women should go to the top martial artist family. It is wrong to steal them from. It's wrong to reduce the genes of the martial artists. And they should understand the dangers of hurting good men, driving them to suicide. The most romantic, honest, God-fearing men, driving them to suicide, if for nothing else. They should explore this in their head. Why is this guy saying this? If they're not asking themselves, why is this very smart person saying this? They're stupid. They think he's racist and he's trying to brainwash me. They're stupid. Okay, if that is their default stance and they roll with that, they're stupid, get rid of them. Okay? Make it clear to them that martial arts are for thinking people. Angels work the angles. Number 7, why is it important to understand people and the history that made them far more than the yuppie middle and upper class? Okay? Because yuppies have dull senses. They are groupie, social norm fanatic, conformist bitches. Okay? You can figure out the rest from there. 8, why is the hero, the master of non-action, not good enough? It goes back to Hades being the passive. One of the devil's main plan is to pacify you, to drug you up. Mental health, one of the main purposes of it is to pacify political dissidents. Okay? So we go back to why can't the white-skinned people, da-da-da-da-da. Well, you look at the Asians, right? They haven't forged warrior bodies to that degree. God chose this Nigerian, that's why it's the N-word, Nigeria, this Biafran, Biafra, right? This is the royal family here, and you know them by their works, that gene expression. They've expressed that warrior gene, and they've done so all the way up until this point. Okay, now there's a bunch of people trying to make us gay and so on and so forth. Anything else is stealing. And these are the rich races on top of that.